We all have free will and the right to choose. Love is a choice. Some people think it's how you feel, but the feelings of love aren't love itself, but rather a natural symptom of love. Unconditional love means to take oneself with no judgments, no expectations, no conditions. When I say love is a choice, I don't mean to try to force yourself to feel love. You can't force love. Love just is. The choice it is simply the choice to find it. Now, before I explain what I mean, I must first explain the duality of love and fear first. The truth is, there's no true duality because everything is one. But for the sake of communicating an understanding of a concept in its simplest form, I'm going to proceed with this metaphorical duality of love and fear as being two separate things. Love is light. What is in the light is exposed and shown. It is seen and known. It's truth and knowledge. All these things conclusively coexist. You can't have one without the other. Fear is darkness. What is in the dark is hidden, unseen. It is blind and naive. It lies and it's ignorance. People fear the unknown, which causes a retreat into hiding, eventually only deepening that fear. With everyone in our life, we have a choice, a crossroads, if you will, to which path we want to take. Fear isn't necessarily a choice, but rather a lack thereof. It's more along the lines of laziness, pride, or ignoring of that choice. Love, on the other hand, is a choice, a desire to turn away from pain, to connect with others. There is a natural process to get to that ultimate state of love that we are all made of, but the choice must be made first. It takes humility, putting aside one's ego, and selflessness. It's not easy. Nothing worth having is easy to get to, in my opinion. Step 1, understanding. Ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it shall be opened to you. Matthew 7:7. To understand someone, you must first seek that understanding. The process of understanding goes as follows. Ask questions driven with that intent. Seek and listen to answers. And most importantly, attune to another's perception and feelings. If we really try to understand and keep an open mind and set our ego aside, we will eventually be given that understanding. Step 2, compassion. Compassion is a concern and care for another's suffering and is accompanied by motivation to help or improve the other's well-being. When we get through the first step of understanding and fully attuning to another person's perception, then generally compassion tends to manifest as a natural response. I believe that if it hasn't, then maybe question if you have a good understanding or not. It is actually impossible to 100% understand someone's perspective because we aren't them. There are no two perceptions the exact same. But trying to get as close as we can to it can help us understand enough to have compassion. I feel as though if it were possible to 100% understand others, then it would be impossible to not have compassion. The closer we get to fully understanding, the more effortlessly the compassion flows from within us. Step 3, love. Just as naturally as compassion comes from understanding, love comes alongside compassion. That's because love is inherently the core of who we are. It's where we came from and what we are connected to. And when we are in alignment with that love that's within ourselves, it overflows to others and heals and connects us. It brings peace and balance back into our lives and relationships. Here's the kicker, though. You can't possibly find your way to that love unless you can first do these steps for yourself. You cannot give away what you don't have. If you can't understand or have compassion for yourself, then how can you really for anyone else? If you can't find love for yourself, then how can you give love away? And also know this, we are human, and as human nature is, we don't tend to stay in that state of love at all times. That's why I like to call it a practice. It's something we must choose to do on a regular basis. The more we practice, the easier it gets. Choosing this practice will enrich and enlighten your life in ways you never thought possible. Understanding will lead to freedom from pain, anger, and fear. In other words, the truth will set you free.